Hello students and welcome to your Say It with Symbols test review. This review is all algebra because that's most of your tests. So if you feel good on this, feel free to fast through parts you feel good on, but everything I go over in this will be on the test. So make sure that you can do everything, and as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Before we begin, I'm going to be using some words on this test that's important that you know. So this is just a quick vocab review. So a variable. A variable is just a symbol. It's a letter in everything on this test. Usually it's X or Y, and it's your symbol in your algebra problem. The variable is what we do not know. It is what we have to find. The goal of algebra is to get the variable by itself. Next term you need to know, because there are some equations and some problems on this test that are not equations. So if it is an equation is just a mathematical sentence. If it is an equation, it has an equal sign. If it has an equal sign, you need to get the variable by itself. If it does not have an equal sign, you just combine. You will see more of this in a sec, but no, if it is not an equation, just combine. Inverse operations, I'll be talking about this at the very beginning. The inverse operation is how you undo something. It's how you get a number or a set of numbers to the other side of your algebraic equation. And finally, like terms. You can combine like terms. So example, in this problem right here, I have a 5c plus a 2c. I can combine those, giving me 7c, and I cannot combine the 4 because it does not have a variable. There's a very quick vocab review on what you need to know. So the first part of this test is simplifying algebraic expressions. 5c plus 6c equals 11c. I even color-coded everything for you here. So there's 2x, a 3, a 4x, and I combine the x's. Hopefully this is a review for you, but what gets tricky is the positive and the negative signs. We'll get to that in a sec. So pause your recording now, and please do number 1. On number 1, I'll color code this. I have 2 C's. I have 4 C's. That gives me 6 C's. And then I have a positive 4 and a positive 3. That gives me 7. So my answer is 6C plus 7. If you would have 7 plus 6c, that is correct too. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit more tricky, is when we have negative signs. What you need to know is this negative sign right here, it goes with the 3b. And this negative sign goes with the t. Negatives and minus are the same thing for our purposes on this test. So if there's no sign in front, it is a positive. So when I would do this problem, I have a positive 5b minus 3b. That gives me 2b. And then I have a positive 8 minus t. There's 1t, so that is a positive 7t. 8 minus 1 gives me 7. Those are people who get confused, but the first 4 problems on this test, 4 to 6, are of this nature. So pause your recording now and please try number 3. On number 3, I have positive 9a minus 4a minus 10a. Remember, these minuses go for what's in front of it. So 9a minus 4a is 5a. 5a minus 10a is a negative 5a. For my x's, I have a positive 3x. I have a positive 6x. That gives me 9x's. Negative 5a plus 9x, or you could have 9x minus 5a. That also works. So next part of the test is this distributive property. So how the distributive property looks is I have an example on the board. So if I had a parentheses b plus c, this is my b and my c. I have to distribute on the outside. Distribute on the outside to each of them. So it would be a times b and then a times c, and you keep your sign in the middle. Hopefully that's a review for you from 6th and 7th grade. If I just confused you or you don't know how to distribute it, please come see me. Okay. Here we go. So I want you to, the next set is you have to distribute out and then combine your like terms. So number one, I will show you an example of it. So there's nothing in between the 6 and the parentheses, so I have to distribute out. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 3 is 18. And then I bring down my 15. Now, I can combine my like terms. I can combine my 18 and my negative 15 or minus 15, and I can get 6x. 18 minus 15 is a positive 3. I can't combine anymore. That is my answer. Make sure for number 3 that that's a Q. You know that. And please pause your recording now and do number 2 and 3. For number 2, distribute that 7. 7y plus 14 minus 3y. 7y minus 3y is 4y plus 14. That is my answer. Distributing this out, I have 8q, and it's important to know your sign. This is a negative 4 or a minus 4, which gives me 32 minus 2. That is 8q, and negative 32 minus 2 is negative 34. That was a tricky one because of the negative signs, but there's my answer. Make sure you know that one. All right, this next part may be very basic for many of you. One-step algebra, some of you started in elementary school. I'm going to go through it quickly, but make sure it's all about your organization. Even if you know how to do it, it's worth the review just for the organization. So I'm going to demonstrate 2 of them. There's an equal sign. So the goal of algebra is to get the x by itself on one side of the equal sign. So in order to do that, I have to move away everything else. I have a positive 2. The way you move it to the other side is you take the inverse. The inverse of plus 2 is minus 2. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to both sides. My plus 2 and my negative 2, plus 2 minus 2 equals 0, so I cancel that out. There's nothing left. I have x by myself on the left side. I reached my goal. This is what I wanted to do, was get x by itself. So I reached my goal. 12 minus 2 is 10. X equals 10. That's my answer. If you ever want to know what to do, if I take a look at my original equation, I should be able to put in my answer for x. 2 plus 10 equals 12, so I know I did it right. Next one, same thing. 2 sides of the equation. I have to get x by itself, so I have to get rid of the divide by 5. Opposite of divide by 5 is times by 5. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to both. That cancels out. X equals 50. And 50 divided by 5 equals 10. I know it may be basic, but please pause your recordings now and do these 3. So I have t plus 32. The opposite of plus 32 is minus 32. 10 minus 32 is a negative 22. If you haven't noticed by now, there is a lot of negatives on this test. Number 2, if there is no sign they are multiplying, the opposite of multiply is divide. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals 9. And then number 3, divide by 4. The opposite of divide by 4 is times by 4. Times by 4. A negative divided by a positive. That's a times sign right there. A negative times a positive is a negative, so my answer is negative 8. One-step algebra. There you go. For two-step algebra, again, draw your line, and then get the variable by itself. All algebra, get the variable by itself. So the difference is that we start, you do inverse PEMDAS. So on my left side of the equation here, I have 3x plus 2. I have to get x by itself, so I have to get rid of the 3 and the 2. You start with what is not attached to the variable. So 2 is not attached. So I have to do the opposite, which is minus 2. Minus 2. That crosses out. I have 3x left. Notice how I'm being neat in giving myself space and working, keeping the equal sign on the line. 14 minus 2 is 12. And then, next step, I have 3 times x. They're multiplying, so I divide. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. X equals 4. I moved right down the middle of the equal sign, and I kept everything in a straight line. I would like you, let's not worry about number 2 for this review. I would like you to please pause your recordings and do numbers 1, 3, and 4. Number 1, I probably should have mentioned this before, but this is a divide by sign. The opposite of divide by 3 is times by 3. But before then, I have to plus 2. That gives me 7 equals y divided by 3 times by 3 times by 3 y equals 21. Number 3, 2c minus 11 equals 13. So the opposite of minus 11 is plus 11. Plus 11, that's 24 equals 2c. Divide by 2, c equals 12. Very neat, right down the line. Number 4, last one, x divided by 2, so I minus 1, that gives me 3. X divided by 2 equals 3. The opposite of divide by 2 is times by 2. Times by 2, x equals 6. Please let me know if you need any help on two-step algebra. Okay, these next two are just a compilation of our last two problems. So on these, you have to combine, and then you have to solve. So on this one right here, I have 3x, sorry, my smartboard's a little goofy, 3x minus 6x. These are on the same side, so I can combine them. 3 minus 6 is negative 3x, plus 12 equals negative 9. Now I'm just two-step algebra. Minus 12, that gives me negative 21, negative 3x, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, x equals 7. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. That was a pretty challenging problem, and I moved through it pretty quick. All right, here's your last one of this page right here. So pause your recordings now, and please complete this problem. I need to take the 4 and distribute it out. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 5 is 20 equals 12. Now, once you do your distributive, a lot of problems on this test, now you're just right to two-step algebra. So I get rid of what's not attached to the variable first. That's my 20 minus 20. As you can tell, there's a lot of negative numbers on this test. So I have negative 8. 4x equals negative 8. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. X equals negative 2. If you did that problem right, you are very prepared for this part of the test. That's one of the harder type ones on this test. All right, here we go. So this is it. This is the part where everyone gets frustrated and throws a tantrum and starts kicking and screaming and going crazy. Multi-step algebra. I'm going to show you how to do the first one because this is challenging. So what I do is I'm on two different sides of the equation. So I can't combine my variables. I have to get them together, but I can't just put them together because I'm on different sides of the equation. So for me, it's easier to move my smallest variable. So my smallest variable is plus negative 9. The opposite is plus 9z. The opposite is minus 9z, and then I bring everything down. 2 plus 5z equals negative 8. Now, I am right to two-step algebra. Once you get that first step, you're just right back to two-step algebra. So the 5 and the z are connected. So I'm going to start with the 2. The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. Minus 2. Again with the negatives. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10 equals 5z. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Z equals negative 2. It's a challenging problem, but if you get that first step right, you're just right to two-step algebra again. So here you go. This is all you. You can do it. I believe in you. Please try this one right here. Pause it now. It is easiest to move my smallest variable, which is 3x. The opposite of plus 3x is minus 3x. minus 3x. That's 2x plus 7 equals negative 3. Again, I'm right to two-step algebra. The opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. Minus 7. Negative 3, take away 7 is negative 10. 2x equals negative 10. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. X equals negative 5. Your final practice one for multi-step equation, and I added a new step, so this is even one more step to it, is this one right here. Go ahead and complete this one. For this one, I have to distribute first before I do anything. So 9 times 3x is 27x. 9 times 4 is 36. We're dealing with some bigger numbers. 7x minus 4 equals 27x plus 36. Even though it's bigger numbers, same principles. Move my smaller variable first. My smaller variable is 7. The opposite of 7x is negative 7x or minus 7x. That crosses that out. All I have left on this side is negative 4. 27x minus 7x is 20x plus 36. I am two-step algebra now. Start with what's not attached to my variable. That is minus 36 minus 36. That gives me negative 40. Cross it out, equals 20x, and now my math isn't too bad. Divide by 20, divide by 20, that is negative 2 equals x. If you can do that one on your own, you are extremely prepared for this test, and you will be good to go. The last part of this review is a compilation of everything. So I am going to have you complete these two problems. These are two extremely challenging problems. If you can do these problems, I've already said it, but you're good. Try these last two, and then you are done with this review. Let's start with number 1. As always, distribute this out first. That's 3p times negative 6 is negative 18 plus 5p equals 30. I can combine my p's, so I have 3p plus 5p. That's 8p minus 18 equals 30. Now we're to two-step. So plus 18 plus 18. I'm going to move it up. That crosses that out. I have 8p equals 48. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. P equals 6. Got it. Next problem, number 2. Don't worry about number 3 down there. Number 2, multi-step algebra. So move my smaller variable. That's negative 7 plus 7x plus 7x. That is 17x minus 22 equals 29. Two-step algebra. Plus 22 plus 22. That's 51. 17x equals 51. So divide by 17. Divide by 17. X equals 3. Two very hard problems that'll prepare you. That's it for the algebra part of this test. If you want to keep going with me, I'm going to do puzzles next and word problems that'll be on the test. If you feel good on algebra, you're good to go. Puzzles. So, puzzles. Part of this test, you have to do puzzles with a number and a variable. So, I know you guys did this in class, but pick a number, any number. I'm going to pick 2. Double it. That means times by 2. That's 4. Add 6. 10. Divide by 2. That's 5. And then subtract the number you picked. We picked 2, and that'll give you, minus 2. That'll give you your answer, and my answer should come out to 3. That's how the puzzles work. Now, the second part of puzzles is you have to do it with a variable. So with a variable. So pick a variable. I'm going to pick x. Then double it. That is 2 times x. Then I'm going to add 6. So I have 2x plus 6. Now divide by 2. Here's where it gets tricky, because since I have to divide by 2, it looks like this. But times 2 and divide 2 cancel themselves out. So all I have left is x plus 6. Now the last number is subtract the number you picked. So the number I picked originally was x. So I have to minus x. Again, I can simplify. So if I have x minus x, that gives me nothing. 1x minus 1x is no x left, 0 x's. All I have left is 6. That is how a variable would work. Last part of the review, word problems. So if you get a word problem that may look like this, at the grocery store, my favorite meal is steak and asparagus. So I buy steak that costs $4 per pound. Your key term there is per pound. And then I buy asparagus that costs a total of $9.50. My total bill is $25.50. The question is, how many steaks did I buy? We have to write an equation and solve. Think you can do it? Pause it up. All right, so I know my total bill. I always like to start with my total. I know my total bill is $25.50. And I like to put that by itself on one side of the equation. So if I have $25.50, and then on the other side, I have $4 per pound, and then I have to add $9.50 for my asparagus. Now, I need a variable somewhere. And it asks me how many pounds of steak did I buy. So my steak goes with my steak. My X goes right there. Steak goes with steak. You wouldn't put steak with asparagus. You wouldn't put steak with total bill. Or excuse me, you would put pounds of steak, so keep steak with steak. Now, I have a two-step equation I can solve. So when I minus 950, I minus 950. That crosses that out. I have 4x equals 0, 0, 25 minus 9 is $16. Divided by 4, divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4 equals x, or 4 pounds of steak. Tasty problem, end of a tasty review. I hope that helps you on your test. As always, please let me know if you need anything. Rewind it, go through it. All algebra, baby. Have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon.